The task is simple. No driver can point their way in today, and we have to try and get Denny Hamlin into the playoffs in his final season of NASCAR Cup Series competition. Hello everybody and welcome to the Daytona regular season finale for Season 3, where we kick things off with a massive announcement. Junior Motorsports will be expanding into the NASCAR Cup Series as they have bought out Stewart Haas Racing, which will shut down now at the season's end, as Carson Hocevar and Noah Gragson will pilot the number 8 and 88 for JRM, as Stewart Haas Racing took the offer and they were originally going to go over to Chevrolet next season. Well, now they will completely shut down, as you see Denny Hamlin ready to roll here from the Daytona weekend in the field as well. Tyler Reddick 7th in the standings, needs to win to make the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. is back in a third 2311 car this weekend here in Daytona. Not the last time we're going to see him behind the wheel of that car either. Now as we roll through into qualifying for this Daytona regular season finale weekend, you guys know the drill when it comes to qualifying. We are going to qualify dead last. It's quite simple at that point now as we come through to cross the line. Just running this lap just so we can see the actual qualifying order is all we do. And on pole, Ryan Blaney joined by Ross Chastain. Hamlin qualifies in 4th position. Ryan Preece there in P20. The only way anybody can get into the playoffs now is winning. Gilliland and Briscoe do have a chance to beat each other on points. Briscoe comes in with a 21-point advantage over Gilliland. Xfinity Series action was going this weekend. Brandon Jones would hold off William Sawalich and Sheldon Creed to pick up the victory. Rajah Caruth there in P5. Chase Purdy inside the top 10. Not necessarily the day Allmendinger, Caruth, or Connor Zilish wanted to see, because the new winner puts them in a position where it's harder to make the playoffs, as you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. Sorry, Darlington is where they were, not Daytona. As we get ready, though, for some Daytona racing for the regular season finale and the Cup Series.
We're ready to kick off the playoffs, but first it all comes down to this regular season finale in Daytona. Many big names must win tonight to get in. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin. Who of those drivers has the best chance to get in, guys?
Denny Hamlin for sure. He's great at this track, and he has the most teammates who I'm sure will be helping him tonight, or at least in stage 3.
Okay, Gary, a simple night. You know, go for it in stage 1 and 2, but in stage 3, we are focused on helping the 11. We want to push him to the win tonight.
Yeah, 10-4, James. Great regular season. We got the regular season championship locked up. Appreciate the hard work, guys, and the win last week, of course, was great. And I'll do everything I can to help that 11 car in stage 3. We've had a rocky past of teamwork in our career so far, but tonight we're about to put it to the full test, as our goal today is to push the 11 to victory lane. He cannot point his way in, of course, so we can go for stage wins in stage 1 and 2, but stage 3 we will have to get connected as soon as possible to the rear bumper of the number 11 FedEx Toyota Camry at a track where Hamlin's had a lot of success at in the past. Can he find the success he needs? Big names out of the playoffs due to having 17 different winners this season. You look at the names, of course, Hamlin in his final season, just announced last episode, Joe Gibbs Racing has stolen Chandler Smith from Colleague Racing and is bringing him over to bring back the 18 car next season. Kyle Busch winless on the season, of course, not in the playoffs. Bubba Wallace inside the top 16 in the standings. Tyler Reddick in the top 10 in the standings. They are both out without a victory. A really just a surprise shock season. You don't see this all the time, but we are seeing it this season, and it's going to be complicated. It's going to be an interesting playoff, because I feel like there's going to be some drivers that are not even going to show up in that first round. Chase Briscoe, if he makes it in, Todd Gilliland needs to find 21 points on that 14. That is the only point battle we actually have. They're both going to be likely in the top 30 at the end of the night, and they're both battling each other to try and be the highest one, so they will get in the playoffs. But right now it's looking good, and Stewart Haas Racing looking for one final playoff run, as they have announced this weekend that they have sold to JRM a very high $1 million deal for that buyout. But JRM officially has gotten an opportunity to enter the Cup Series, and it is going to be exciting. And we saw Carson Hocevar pick up the win in Indianapolis, really put his name on the block, I would say, getting Andretti Global their second Cup Series win, and now he has an opportunity to race for one of the most iconic figures in NASCAR history, Dale Earnhardt Jr. That is going to be exciting. to watch, and of course Noah Gregson going there, which means Colleague Racing has lost, well, all their drivers. We know Gregson's landing spot now. We know Chandler Smith's going to be teammates with me at Joe Gibbs Racing. We know Alex Bowman's going to the 3rd Richard Childress Racing car as Harvick and Austin Dillon take over the ownership role of that team. We're going to see a caution about midway through stage 1 as Chase Briscoe leads the way, and that's our first tire issue of the day, and it's a heartbreaking one. It's the 45 of Tyler Reddick, and that is going to be the end of the night and the end of his chances to make the playoffs here in the Cup Series. What a season it has been. A lot of consistency inside the top 10 in what's been a very wide variety of running positions for many drivers. To be in the top 10 is quite a compliment, but he will not make the playoffs because although he's been consistent, he hasn't won. We're back racing here with only 3 laps to go already in stage 1, even with a 35% race, a very short stage 1, only 11 laps here now, so it doesn't give us a lot of time to go forward, and I wasn't trying to push the issue too much. We've already won the regular season championship. That's going to be an additional 15 playoff points, 3 wins on the season, not the most. Ty Gibbs has the most with 4. So 7 wins between 2 drivers that are in their 3rd season of Cup Series competition. I'm excited to see this kind of play out as myself and Gibbs, although we're teammates, we're kind of fighting to take over a superstar status early on in our Cup Series career. But a lot of exciting things on the way here going forward now as the dominoes of the silly season continue to fall. Kyle Busch, of course, certainly in question at Trackhouse Racing. What's going to happen there? It seems like they have, over the last few episodes at least, have gotten a lot of issues sorted with that 99 team, and they have been running okay, but they just haven't been good enough to win races. Kyle Busch is at risk of his first ever season without a victory, not only in real life, but here in NASCAR Heat 5 as well. And not what we expected from a driver I thought going over to Trackhouse Racing would be a contender to return to his old form and win a potential championship now. So heartbreaking, but we'll see what happens. Chase Elliott, so many wins last season, only 1 win on this season, but he has had a still solid season, and Hendrick, of course, have turned a corner and have gotten back to their old form after recovering from the big financial penalty that they took. Final lap of stage 1, and it's all Chase Briscoe leading the way. I'm behind my future teammate of Chandler Smith in that number 13. Todd Gilliland, worst case scenario for him, he's going to get no points, while Briscoe will extend his point buffer to Gilliland by now 31 points going into stage 2. We crossed the stripe for only P18.
The car's good, guys. I wasn't trying to push too many issues there.
Yep, all good, mate. That sets us up well for stage 2.
So then everybody is going to come into the pits. Hamlin inside the top 10, but doesn't matter, of course. Now Gibbs P2, Truex in the 2311 third car for the 67 up there in P3. Sounds like he's going to be in the car for a race in the playoffs as well at Dover. Of course, Truex retired after last season, but it is nice to see him still have enough interest to show up and do a race here and there for 2311, which is awesome. Chris Buescher lost 10 spots in the pits. He drops outside of the top 10 as we go behind the camera for the start of stage number 2. Behind that number 8 of Austin Hill, one of the RCR drivers that will be returning next season to that team. Of course, he wants to find victory lane and get in the playoffs, but he will be piloting the number 3 next season, which is going to be exciting to watch. And no one really noticed that the 8 was disappearing from RCR when we kind of announced the expansion, the Harvick Austin Dillon ownership and whatnot, in the 3-car move. But yeah, that 8 disappeared and goes to JRM here now. As is a bit of a congested restart here. 18 laps in stage 2, so if it goes green the whole way, we will need to pit under green flag conditions. Kyle Busch on the inside there. I'm getting help from Chase Elliott in that Coca-Cola number 9. Brad Keselowski to my inside. Keselowski has been a force recently. RFK in general, Justin Haley, Keselowski, and Chris Buescher all looking very strong. I think at this point they've got to be the strongest Ford team here, and we saw signs of that last season in season 2 with Buescher going all the way to the Final 4. It was a heck of a season for him, but Keselowski could never find victory lane. While this season all 3 drivers have found victory lane, and it's been their new driver Justin Haley with the most. 3 wins for him, including recently in Canada, and Keselowski of course won recently, got his 1 win of the season. Buescher 1 win on the season. way early, though. I think it was, race like 3 or something around that area in Las Vegas, if I remember correctly. So, Buescher, though, enough consistency. He's looking strong as we're passing Denny Hamlin. Our goal is to not help him right now. We're focused on ourselves until the start of Stage 3. So, if Hamlin, say, finishes Stage 2 in 30th place and I win the stage, no matter what, at the beginning of Stage 3, we will drop down onto the apron, drop back, and get lined in with Denny Hamlin. That's been the goal this whole weekend. We announced it last episode. The goal is simple. Help Denny Hamlin at all costs and get him into the playoffs. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, we tried our best, and we will, remember that going forward. And hopefully Denny remembers that when we need a little bit of help in the playoffs if he doesn't make it. Chase Briscoe still leads. You see Martin Truex Jr. here on the outside, third car in line behind the 15 of Priest, the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney in the playoffs, 1 win this season. Of course, last season winless, missed about half the season due to a concussion, if you guys remember that, after his major Coke 600 crash. Now, probably still the biggest crash we've seen in this career mode so far. Truex actually would get in line behind me a few moments later now, and lines up there square on my bumper as we look up the inside of that 15 Hunt Brothers pizza machine of Ryan Preece. I'm a bit baffled by that 15 team. They started the first quarter of the season so hot. Nothing changed. I obviously changed ratings here and there, but I never changed anything on them, as now you can see problems for Riley Herbst. Into the outside wall, below the right front wheel. The caution's gonna fly. Nobody is going to pit outside of the obvious there, with the 38 having to come in and replace a tire, maybe fix a little bit of damage after that wall contact. But this caution puts us about 1 lap to the good, actually, on fuel. So we do not have to pit. Todd Gilliland down in 39th place. Worst case scenario for him as Briscoe continues to lead. Chase Briscoe took the lead and hasn't looked back since. He has been absolutely dominating this race in the first stage and a half as we line up behind that Raptor number 24 of William Byron, the Darlington winner from earlier this season. His first win in over 70 races now. Just as he was getting hot, Hendrick Motorsports manages to get themselves a big penalty, and it kind of cooled him down. He was surprisingly probably the worst running Hendrick car of the 4 during the whole penalty fiasco and the financials coming down on them and whatnot. But now that they've, of course, gotten things back to normal, they're looking good, and it's all Corey LaJoie again that's not been running very well. And I would expect an announcement on the 48 in Corey LaJoie very soon in the playoffs. Unless he wins this race, there's no chance he's going to be back in that 48 next season. Now, as Martin Truex Jr. is hung 3 wide in the middle, he's going backwards now. We have entered the top 10. Busch up here as well, and there's the 27 of Sammy Smith. He would love to put a second Andretti Global car in the playoffs. Christopher Bell, our teammate in the 20, falling back. He's only got 1 win on the season, and that was at Mid-Ohio, and he kind of stole that one, so he would love to win a second race before the end of this regular season here in Daytona as we continue moving our way forwards. Now Chase Briscoe continues to lead. Byron left the door open but shuts it now, but I'll get to his inside down the backstretch. He puts it up on the wall behind that Beard Motorsports 62 Timmy Hill, who now jumps down in front of myself. So we'll stay in line behind that 62 as you got Briscoe, Chandler Smith, Ryan Blaney in the top 3. Chandler Smith has been the most consistent Kaulig driver this season. Alex Bowman, his teammate, is in the playoffs with a win recently, but it's certainly been Smith being the most consistent of the full-time drivers in that program, of the 3 full-time drivers. Now, as we have a big run down the back straightaway to the inside of the 12, caution is going to come out, and it's for the 67. Truex with a tire failure, and unfortunately for him, that's going to be day over. His return to a Cup car, and it ends before Stage 2 even comes to a conclusion. The 2-time champion, of course, from 2017, and then Season 1 of this career mode out for the night here now, as we actually lose a spot because Riley Herbst, who brought out that last caution and pitted, stays out for this restart. So Herbst is out in front, and maybe a bit of a team play right there to try and shuffle the 14 backwards for helping his teammate of Todd Gilliland in that 34. We'll wait and see where Briscoe ends up. He's dominated Stage 2, but now he's in a bit of an awkward position. We continue on with 3 laps to go in this second stage. It's been an interesting race so far. If few cautions due to the same thing, of course, with tires and whatnot, but we haven't seen an actual accident so far. Now, as we are going to clear that 14, he drops down to 4th, maybe 5th, and he's probably going to continue to go down the order unless he finds a way to the inside. Drone cam over top of the field, flying by Josh Berry at the back of the field. Josh Berry's future is still up in air. Now that we know, of course, SHR is shutting down, he was going to stay with Stewart Haas Racing going into next season, but of course with the sudden buyout from JRM, it's a total miscommunication, a total unknown for Josh Berry going into season number 4. But Josh Berry has a lot of talent behind the wheel of any car he gets in when it comes to oval racing. I'm sure he's going to find a landing spot here. Stewart Haas has never been strong in our career mode. It's been a big downfall. They've shown a little bit more pace this season than they did in season 2, of course with a win in Chase Briscoe, but Berry as well has shown some promise at times here. Now, final lap of stage 2, and we've gotten into the mix for the stage win. Look into the inside of Herbst, but I just don't have enough, and I know I'm not going to be able to pass him straight up, so I'm going to back it up here in turn 3 and try to get that 15 Caprice on my back bumper. Herbst, of course, a chance to get into the playoffs still now, as we're going to back right up to the 15, but it's not going to be enough. Riley Herbst all in control down this front straightaway. We're going to bring it home for P2 as we cross the stripe to end stage 2. Riley Herbst wins stage 2 here from this Daytona regular season finale.
Alright, so what's the plan now?
We're going to pull to the apron after the first lap in stage 3, back up to the 11. He's in the back half off the field, so you'll likely need to pull off twice.
So what you're saying is Operation DH11?
Correct. Operation DH11.
Tell Gary I will do everything I can to get us up front once he gets to me, and please tell him thanks. I need this.
So you hear my radio, you hear Denny Hamlin's radio as well. We gain a spot in the pit stop. Our pit crew has been fantastic all season long, and that's something that's going to help us a lot going into the playoffs, I reckon now. But stage 3, the final stage of the regular season, is underway. Everybody has one final chance. 21 laps to try and get themselves into the playoffs. We're locked in, 3 wins including that last episode in Bristol. We were not going to win in Bristol. It was pure luck because of the caution, and the 17 of Chris Buescher could not launch off the restart. He was probably going to win. It was either going to be him or Kyle Busch. But now, as we're underway, we're going to stay on the track here for lap 1. We're going to come around and try to lead this first lap, and then lap 2 is when we're going to pull off. I want to be fully up to speed before we make this move. So it's going to probably take 2 back-to-back laps of doing this because we don't want to lose too much speed. Hamlin is in the back half of the field, so I don't want to lose too much speed. We're going to do it twice, give up on the backstretch, pull back on track, and then do it another lap around, pull off again, get back on track behind the 11, hopefully within a few cars. So we're going to come through to lead lap 1 of stage 3. Here comes Ross the Boss Chastain, 1 win on the season for that number 1. He's going to get up here in the mix now. We'll see him in the playoffs alongside his Trackhouse teammate of Shane Van Gisbergen. Will we see a trifecta? Will all 3 Trackhouse cars get in? Well, Kyle Busch is going to have to find a way to win this race, but here we go. Out of turn 2, dropping down now, Operation DH11 ignites right here. We pull over in this Gatorade machine. We'll let a good chunk of the field go, but we, like I said, don't want to lose too much pace. We'll get back up in front of the 5 of Larson, who gives us a big shot to the rear bumper right there. He's not lifting now. We only go down to P13, and the 11 is still a ways back. So, like I said, we're going to have to do this one more time, hopefully one more time. I don't want to do it 2 more times. We need to get connected to that 11, 19 laps. You run out of time quickly here at a track like Daytona. So here we go, come back around, and we're going to pull over once again. This time I'm going to lift quite a bit more to make sure we can get the job done. I'm looking at where's the best spot to pull in, behind maybe the 31. Our rival, of course, in that 31. We're going to get back on track right alongside Hocevar, in front of the 34 of Todd Gilliland. There goes Hamlin now. So we orchestrated that relatively well. Could have certainly been better, but we're within a few cars, only about 2 to 3 cars between myself and that FedEx Toyota Camry. So now can we get connected to Hamlin with 18 to go and start pushing him forward? Cautions likely inevitable here in stage number 3. They are going to occur, and the question is, at that point, when we're trying to be lined up with the 11, where will those cautions come out, and how are they going to separate myself and the 11? That's going to be another predicament here now as we get to the back of Denny Hamlin. Lap 39 coming to 40. Brad Keselowski currently out in front here. Hamlin was actually glued to the back of Shane Van Gisbergen, so I actually had to be a little bit patient as they did not want to disconnect from that number 97. So we had to wait for him to do that. You can see a bit of a disconnect between himself and I, so it's really not going to be till the start of lap 41 where we can start to orchestrate this operation of DH11. Now, as there we go, we get connected to the back of the 11. Let's keep it to the inside and focus on moving forward. If we see a potential caution coming out, we need to get off the back of the 11 like this immediately, because you guys know there is a glitch. If there's car contact at the time of a caution, your next restart, your car will be really slow. So we got to be aware of that. If we see smoke coming off of a car, we will disconnect from the 11 immediately to make sure we can avoid that, because that would ruin this plan, as I wouldn't be able to get connected to the 11 now. Lap 42. We're only to 24th and 25th. There it is, smoke in front. The caution's going to come out, and we don't want to see cautions here. Everybody's going to come into the pit lane, but we need as many laps as we can possibly get if we're going to put Denny Hamlin into the playoffs. The caution comes out for Chris Buescher in the 17, who blows a tire. It's going to be the end of the night for Buescher, who's already locked into the playoffs, but a bit of a salt in the wound there. We're going to take one can of fuel and right side tires, and unfortunately, we give up 5 positions doing that, and on top of that, Hamlin will restart in the outside lane. So 2 shots right there that we did not need to have happen, as we're going to only have 12 laps of racing to go. One of the potential advantages here is we got Ty Gibbs, our other teammate, of course, 4 wins on the season. Hamlin already to the inside. He jumped down in between SVG and John Hunter Nemechek now, so that's good for him. Keselowski leads over Sammy Smith through turn 1. Corey LaJoie at the back of the grid. Daniel Suarez for that Meyer Shank 06 team in their first season to my inside. It's been a subpar season for that team, as I don't think we expected a whole lot out of them, and I would say they've kind of done about how we expect. We managed to get down to the inside. We're going to force the issue 4 wide with Zane Smith into turn 3. They're not going to give room. We're beating and banging doors here through the center of the corner. We're continuing to go at it. We're running out of time, and you can tell the urgency is there. We clear them. Not how I wanted to do it now, as I honestly thought we would just have enough room to make 4 wide happen, and I was totally wrong, but I knew I couldn't back out of it at that point because it would just slow us down far too much. So Ty Gibbs has gotten lined up with Denny Hamlin, and I'm going to try and join suit in that 3rd spot in line. So we'll have 3 JGR cars right here lined up together. Now things are working, but we're running out of time. Coming to 10 laps to go, and Hamlin has yet to enter the top 20 as we continue to follow suit behind that 54 Craftsman red and black Toyota Camry. No matter what happens, we're committed to the back bumper of at least a teammate that's behind Hamlin, or if no one's in between myself and Hamlin that's a teammate, we will do whatever it takes to get, of course, to the back bumper of that number 11. So we are just following this 54 who's following the 11. We're slowly moving forward with 10 laps to go, needing green flag laps. That's what it's going to take here to make this operation successful. Now you can see how condensed this field is. Noah Gragson currently out in front, leading the way. Gibbs leaving space between Hamlin and himself now, as we need to get going. Ty, he's not doing a very good job. Smoke pouring off the back of another car. Oh my goodness, the caution's out again with 9 laps to go, and it's Noah Gragson. It's the leader that has the issue, and he will go all the way to the back, and that will move us up 1 spot. So we're going to be P24 for the restart. I did not want to be on the outside. This is worst case scenario. So Hamlin's on the inside. That's great for him, but he's not going to have help. He's got a car between him and the 54, and his best help is right here in this 19 on the top. Operation DH11 is crumbling before our eyes. We're going to have to get aggressive. We're back underway. You see the view from the pit box. Kyle Larson to the lead. Kyle Busch is 3 wide on the outside and going backwards now as we head on this run towards turn 1. We need to find a way to the inside as soon as we can possibly find it now, but obviously it's a complete gridlock right here on this restart, so we have to be patient, but patiently aggressive now, as we're lined up behind that 2 of Austin Cindric, won in real life this past weekend from Gateway. Completely shocked the world. Of course, a very lucky win as the 12 ran out of gas, the 20 car blew up. A lot of things went right for Austin Cindric, as Denny Hamlin, I guess, said he didn't win, the win found him, or he didn't find the win found him now. As we continue on, 3 wide in the middle, we hung out that 2 car now as we're behind Josh Berry in the 54, the 43. Here's our chance to get down to the inside. He clears me. I jump down in front of the 23 of Bubba Wallace now. Can we get to Hamlin? 5 laps to go. Joey Logano briefly leads, but it would go back to Kyle Larson, but we still haven't gotten to Hamlin. We jump to the inside of the 43. We'll make it 3 wide down this back straightaway. Help coming from the 4. We need that help because we're struggling to go forward. Here we go. We'll breeze through on the inside. The 60 of Haley just in front of us now. We're up to P21. We're going to get to his inside on the exit of turn 4, and he got on the far outside there. That's Ryan Priest. Now through the tri-oval up into P19. Kyle Busch back to the front bumper of his teammate of Chastain, as now I go through to the inside of them. 3 wide with Zane Smith and Chastain, to the back of the 51 of Brett Moffitt, who's behind the wheel of that car. No time for waiting, so I jump to the outside. 4 laps to go, and Hamlin's still several cars in front of me. He's running the inside. He's moving forward. We're going to jump down in front of the 51 and in between him and Ryan Blaney now, but the time is running out quickly. We would get 3 wide to the inside of Blaney and Briscoe, and now to the inside of the 54. We're going to be 4 wide into turn 1. This time we think better of it. We backed out. That didn't like the way that one looked, so we have to wait once again. Larson in front, Christopher Bell in second, Chandler Smith in third. He's had a strong night, but he needs to win to get into the playoffs. Now we clear the 12 into the inside of the 54, coming to 2 laps to go. Operation DH11 looks impossible. Here's Hamlin. We find a way to get to the back of that number 11.
Do not leave his bumper. Everything you have is what we need.
We are going to commit to the back of the 11 at all costs, but I'm getting side drafted by the 38 of Riley Herbst, not making it easy now. 2 laps to go for Kyle Larson, who leads at the stripe. Chandler Smith for Colleague Racing dropping back now. Sammy Smith on the outside. We would get to the back of the 11 down the back straightaway, but it's only a lap and a half to go, and Hamlin is up into 5th as we follow through on the inside of Logano as well to get into P6, passing Austin Hill, running out of time quick. What's going to happen? Single file in front of us is really not what you want to see. Kyle Larson, Bell, Byron, 1, 2, 3, 1 lap to go in the regular season, and Hamlin needs to win. He runs 4th. Byron leaves the door open. We're going to shove this FedEx Toyota Camry into that hole and get now to the inside of the 24. P3 for Hamlin. It's not enough. Can we get him to the back of the 20, who seems to be committed to the back of the 5? He's going to continue down this back straightaway. Following him, Larson jumps up high. Bell does too. Half a lap remains. Logano behind, but he can't get to us. We just commit to the back of the 11 and hope for a miracle, because it doesn't look good. Through 3 and 4, Larson to the top. Christopher Bell to the inside, looking for win 2 of the season. We push Hamlin forward as far as we can, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to miss the playoffs as Christopher Bell will get his 2nd win of the season in Daytona.
Sorry guys, thank you for everything. Thanks to Gary there. He gave it his all for me.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried to push him. It just wasn't enough. Not enough time. 1 more lap, we would have had it.
Christopher Bell gets to celebrate the victory. A heartbreaking ending to Denny Hamlin, his final season. He will not fight for a championship now, as it is JGR 1, 2, 3, and 6 for Gibbs. And Briscoe easily gets the final playoff spot inside the top 30 in points and beats Todd Gilliland. So Gilliland, the future Penske 2-car driver, out of the playoffs, unfortunately, and it will be Chase Briscoe as you see the rest of the finishing order. Let's take a look at the playoff grid. With the regular season championship, a few stage wins, 3 of them to be exact, and race wins at 3 as well, we come in seed number 1 over Kyle Larson. We're 27 points above the cut line, so although we're the top seed, it's not very comfortable due to all the different winners we have seen and whatnot. Kyle Larson, they're 21 above, Gibbs 20 above in seed 3, Bell moves up to 4th, 16 above, Chastain, Byron, SVG, Chase Elliott all in the top 8, and then it's RFK 9th, 10th, and 11th, followed by Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, and finally Carson Hocevar. But you see just how jam-packed these points are. Anything can happen, and we'll go over the playoff schedule starting next episode, and what we've been hearing could be the final season of the NASCAR playoff format that we currently have, so stay tuned on that. We couldn't get Denny Hamlin in. It sucks. He will spend his final 10 races just racing for wins. I'll see you guys in the next episode, where we kick off our 3rd playoff run, and a very promising one. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.